Hi, my name is Amanda Batek, and I'm part of Genevieve's Team Stick. And she asked me today to share a set, and so I chose the Forever Fern stamp set, which of course is in the annual catalog and maybe has been overshadowed by all the other great sets that have come out. But I still really love it, and I have an upcoming class in early February where I'm using this, and so I'll show you the class that I'm running and then some other examples because I think it's an ultra beautiful set. So and thank you for all your comments. I'm glad there's a few people out there, and anyway, I haven't actually ever done a Facebook Live before, so please bear with me in case there's any technical issues, but hopefully it goes smoothly. So I will show you the set and then get started with the cards. So, and hopefully that looks okay. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the set, but of course there's the stamp set. And I think it's it's, the distinctive set, and it's got some nice greetings, and it has some very nice kind of shading kind of built into it. And so that's very nice. Of course, there's the dies that go with it. And, some of them are quite intricate, which is beautiful. And then, of course, they coordinate with the stamps themselves and cut images out. And then something that I learned just recently is that 4 of these, I forget which 4, but 4 of these actually do coordinate, and you can cut out leaves from the paper as well. So that's always an option, and I'll be showing that to my class as well, although I haven't actually done it yet. But anyway, and here's some examples of these are some of the leftover die cuts that I have, but you can see like how intricate the some of they are. Typically I'll use the adhesive sheets when I do that, but anyway, whatever. So there's some examples. And then of course there's the paper. So I'll just move these out. And the paper, I mean, it's focused in the greens obviously, but there's lots of, I think that's one of the ones that the die cuts cut out, but it's pretty wonderful paper. And but don't limit yourself to greens, certainly with this set, and that's one of the things I wanted to showcase for it today. So anyway, I'll show you the cards that I'm going to be demonstrating today. And sorry, I'm just want to keep track of what's going on here. All right, so I'll show you the cards that I'm doing today, and which is the ones that I'm doing for a card class. And I'm not sure. Oh, I need to move these up. Sorry. I'm learning here. So I think these are the 3 I'll do today. And because it's a card class, I guess one of the things I'm personally struggling with a tiny bit is like colors, because who knows, even if they buy this, well, they'll buy the stamp set as part of the class, but really who knows what colors people have at home, and you want them to be successful and to be happy with their card, but at the same time, color coordination is obviously one of the things that Stampin' Up! Is known for, and it helps for the beauty. So I tried to do, and I have 2 more cards that I probably won't demonstrate today, but I'm also including in the class. But I tried to design the cards such that either the colors didn't matter too much, or that it was like very, very much limited. So anyways, so for example, this card, is all pretty much die cuts. Here I heat embossed it, but in the class I've cut out like a thanks from the Well Written set. And so that, that actually, this is a no stamping card, but it still highlights the beauty of the die cuts. And even if they don't have the dies, they still have a beautiful card that I think is quite stunning. So anyways, I think you can figure out how to do that. But in my tutorial, I do have the instructions for that. This one I'm not going to demonstrate because this is simple stamping at its finest. And it's actually just one, well, okay, there's 3 stamp sets, but it's just showing like how beautiful these leaves are in different colors. And the reason I chose this for the class is it's more of a bonus card really, because this is like so simple that it's almost not worthy, but like they can use any colors that they want. And I'm actually going to use a navy base that's, you know, so navy I consider to be almost a neutral, plus I love blue. And so whatever colors, even if they just pick 3 of them and do them in pastels, I think it'll look awesome. And so they can just use whatever colors look nice together in their opinion. So that's another reason why I chose this one. And it you know, you really do see the beauty of the stamps in this one. And so, but again, you know how to stamp, so I'm not going to demonstrate that for you, but the instructions will be provided. So I think we'll start with this one today. And so this one, I'll get started. It uses the Scripty folder, embossing folder. And so there are a lot of die cuts here, so there's not a whole lot of stamping. But again, I mean, I use soft seafoam here for the sentiment, but you know, if they don't have soft seafoam, you know what, I think any kind of like soft color will work just fine. And then it's really about the die cuts and producing a very stunning card. So I will hopefully, there we go. So we'll demonstrate that quickly. And then I don't often do ripped edges, but honestly, I saw this one online and I did adjust it slightly, but you know, I thought, why not? Like, let's, so I'll do my stamping first. So, and again, this is actually just a card kit that I'd already prepared, so we should be ready to go. So I use soft seafoam, and we'll stamp the hello, and hopefully I can get it straight. No, of course not. All right, that's better. That's why we have 2 sides of the paper. Since I have the ink out, I will stamp. I think we need something on the inside, so I'll just stamp a big fern. I think that looks pretty nice. All right. So as you can see, I've die cut everything for the class. This rectangle is like 2 stitch shape rectangles, and I actually die cut them at the same time with just using a piece of washi tape. And I'm not going to use this, but it's like a bonus for the class. I guess I could keep it, but actually I think the original design had it as a square, but you know, I thought Diamond Shreddies, I don't know if anyone remembers that marketing campaign, but anyways, here's a piece of vellum. And I think, I don't use vellum a lot, but I really should. So this is just 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to rip the edges. And so that's pretty straightforward. And it just gives, you know, a different, some might say a vintage feel to it. I don't know. But, and it doesn't really matter how much, like, I don't know, I'm not taking a huge amount off, but to each their own. I actually used the Scripty folder originally on a second card, and then I realized I probably should like mix things up a bit. So I decided here on the vellum it just looked so wonderful, so I kept it here and then changed it up on another card. So there we have our vellum. Hopefully that's all good. So the assembly, you know, once the die cuts are done, it's all pretty straightforward. Of course, we know that vellum is see-through, and so we have to be kind of mindful of that when we're doing our glue dots, or you just accept that you'll see a little bit of it through. So this is a gray granite. It's a color I don't use very often and decided that I needed to, so we'll just adhere that. And this is more of this is less stamping and more of an assembly project, and I don't know, of course, if people were over at my home, I'd probably do more stamping, but anyways, times have changed. So now we'll put the vellum on, and seeing as I do have a sample, on my original one, I put glue dots in the 4 corners. Now, of course, I can see them, whether anybody else can, I don't know, but maybe I'll try to be mindful of where my rectangle is gonna go, and then I can probably cover it up a bit. So I have some glue dots. And sorry, I'm not watching for comments here, so I think hopefully everything's okay. So we'll put one up at the top. My brain might explode if if I try to do too much. All right, so we'll do one there. Of course, I'm probably overthinking this. Actually, one of my problems with this Fern set was narrowing down the cards that I was going to do for the class. I will show you my samples after the fact of all that I've made with the set, and believe me, my Pinterest board is full of another, I don't know how many cards that, you know, I dream of making one day. And it's really, I really like it. All right, so now it's more just a matter of assembling. Of course, I didn't get the glue dots in the right spot, but for this one, I'm going to use mini dimensionals just because it's kind of a narrow border. And actually, I've never really thought of using borders before with the stitch dies, but I thought it looked pretty nice as an outline or a frame. All right, I think that's good enough. Oh gee, this is a good practice for my class. Of course, these mini ones are good. Fine motor skills. All right. You could do it. You could do a diamond or a square. I like the diamond. To each their own. All right, and then it's just a matter of like layering these pieces on, however you see fit. For the, I mean, I think this looks stunning in silver. I used adhesive sheets on the metallic ones just because, honestly, like I get pretty frustrated putting glue and adhesive on like very fine ones, but you know, that's a personal choice. So in this one, I don't want flapping around too much, so we'll just stick that on. And then maybe I got lazy for these ones, so I chose not to put adhesive on these ones, or adhesive sheets, but I figured they're going to be held down by the sentiment and all that. So, and it's okay to have a bit of dimension, so I'll just put some glue. And then this last one, maybe I'll attach it behind the hello so I know where it is. Yeah, that's the good one. All right, and then I'll just use some dimensionals to attach the sentiment, and we're done the first card. All right, of course you can add rhinestones or whatever, but honestly I think it probably doesn't need it. So that's that. Okay, this is gonna bother me, so we're gonna put one here. But anyway. There we go. All right, there's the first card. So hopefully, anyways, very good. Put away the soft seafoam ink before I put my elbow in it. And again, I think you could do any like softer color or whatever. So I like that one because it's a little different, and you know, color versatility I think will work. All right, so now we'll do this one. And so this one, although I'm actually going to do a different color combination than I did on the original, and it's more to demonstrate that, you know, just pick whatever colors, that people can use whatever colors they look, that they think look great together. So the like I saw many variations, like I think someone did this one in the fall, and so they had you know, like oranges and yellows and reds, you know, representing fall, which looked stunning. And so I'm going to do blues just because, you know, I feel like seeing how that would look. So it's pretty straightforward. So again, I have a Whisper White card base. Here I have Blackberry Bliss. Again, it's kind of a neutral, so I'm hoping that even if they don't have Blackberry Bliss, it'll work out. And then, you know, a little insert to go on top of it. And then I've pre-cut a 2-inch Post-it note, which I've put on their thing. And so we're just using it as a mask. I guess technically you don't need it because we're covering it with a circle. The original card that I copied didn't have, they just left it blank there. But I think, you know, a stitch circle makes, adds a little something. So again, it's pretty straightforward. I've picked 3 colors and you just kind of go in a clockwise, or actually you don't have to go clockwise. You just stamp 4 of each color in the quadrants, and then you just kind of rotate it around. So it's pretty straightforward. But again, here I'm trying to highlight the stamps. And so today I'm gonna try using, I'm just gonna do kind of like blues because I'm curious how that'll look. So a monochromatic look, and but really I think you can do anything. All right. So I've got like one of the little mini ferns. I think I'll start light. And so hopefully, and I think it looks better if it's on a bit of an angle. So stamp it like I said, 12 o'clock, and then roughly 6 o'clock, and then roughly 3 o'clock, and roughly 9 o'clock. All right. And then come in with your second color and do the same thing, overlap it a bit. All right. I'm wondering how Night of Navy is going to look with that now, but there's only one way to find out. I'm wondering if it's too dark, but whatever, we'll see. It's pretty similar. Well, anyway, it's all good. All right, I think I would have picked a different, I thought the Misty Moonlight and the Night of Navy would have looked a little different, or a little more differentiation, but apparently not. All right, well, anyway, I think it'll look great. So we'll stamp a sentiment. And go with Night of Navy. Oh, and then there's these little dot things. I'm not used to using like these random stamps, but actually for here, I think it looks really great. So it's part of the set, and I just want a really subtle look. So I'm going to stamp off and add some little randomness, I guess. All right. So we stamp that. And then I think we should stamp the inside of the card just because. I'm not being very original. It's the same as the previous one, but I think that's okay. And then we'll start layering and assembling. Oh, I shouldn't cover up. I'm just going to put my ink away because something, my elbow will end up in it for sure. All right, so if I was to redo that, I think I would stick with the Blackberry Bliss, but anyway, I guess I should have tested those colors first. Anyway, so now we're on to basic assembly. I usually do like, you know, the standard 1/4 inch measurements for layers. But I have to say, when you do the like the 1/8 like border, like I've done here, it actually looks pretty. It can look quite stunning. Just that tiny bit of color peeking out. All right, so. All right, and then of course, so I use the full Post-it notes, but you don't have to. But and so the original card had the sentiment stamped here, but I have the stitch circles, so I think that I have them, so why not? So we'll add that with some dimensionals. Actually, now that I look at it, I think this could have used some of the little dots, but whatever. I've already tied a bow, just in the interest of time, so you don't see me fumble around. How am I doing for time? 20 minutes. Wow, time's fun when you're having flies. All right, and there's a bow. And of course you can add rhinestones. You can do that to anything. So there's the second card. So, yep, I would just not do Knight of Navy next time, but live and learn. So there's the second card. Again, it allows the class participants to use whatever colors they have, which I think is awesome. And then this is the third card I'll demonstrate for you. And it's pretty simple. So I wanted something with like the DSP, like a card with the DSP, just to kind of show them that. This I think is my favorite pattern in there. But and actually I quite like this this very simple layout of the three kind of not bars, but rectangles. And so we have that for the inside. I die cut this little flourish thing, fern, whatever, and I put adhesive sheet on the back before I die cut it. I used the 3D brick and mortar embossing folder this time. So originally I had the scripty, but now I've decided that it'd be good to show a second one. Strip of DSP, so this is 4 inches wide, which is smart for a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, so it makes it quite economical, or it's well planned. How about we put it that way? And then a 1-inch strip at the bottom. So the layout is like super simple, but I think it's quite nice. And then I used a pretty peacock card base. So we'll do our stamping first. I think I've lost my sentiment. All right. I have officially outsmarted myself. Well, we'll stamp the inside and hopefully it appears on my desk. I thought it was organized. Anyway, let's do a different, we'll do a different leaf on the inside this time. That's weird. Oh, I see it now. It's under a pile. Okay. So, pretty peacock. I love it. I'll be sad when it retires this year. But until then, I will continue to enjoy it. And probably after too. So, put that for the inside. I find these dark inks take longer to dry, which is a mixed blessing. All right. I seem to have lost my sentiment stamp. Well, we'll have to improvise then. I will find it when I clean up. All right, so I'm going to do a different sentiment because I have outsmarted myself today somehow. So we'll do this one instead. And it's even straight. All right, and then now it's pretty much assembly. All right, so I have, you know, our standard card base. We'll do the insert. My desk is always like a war zone. It's like I have so few things on it and yet so crowded. And this is a card without dimensionals on it, so that's pretty unusual for me, but all right, and then we just take these layers and put them on like this. This was the layout I used for mystery stamping one week, and I quite like it. It's simple, but I think it looks quite nice. And you can change it up. You don't have to have embossing. You could have plain, or you could do a stamped, you know, a simple stamped random image thing going on. Although you don't want to compete with the DSP too much. And then in the class, I'll show them some cards that have more DSP on them. But anyway, it's a good add-on, even for people who don't have, you know, a Big Shot or the new stamping embossing machine. I think part of my problem with classes is I tend to try to make the cards too complicated, and I think this is a great example of a simple design that looks like, I think it looks fabulous, but hopefully you do too. And then, like I said, the die cut, I put the, and I just gotta find it. I did put the adhesive sheet on because we want to make it easy for people. And then, because, I don't know, I get frustrated trying to glue these things down. And then just put it wherever. All right, so that is the third card. I still don't know where that stamp is. It's here in my, so, there we go. So here are the 3 cards that we did. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully you can see that. And then I've got, these are the other 2 that I'm doing, but I think you're all experienced enough to figure it out. You don't need me to do it. Again, that's just random, like die cut these adhesive sheets and go for it. All right, and I'll show you a few other examples, that I'm not doing in the class, but I'll share with my class, and hopefully I don't overwhelm you with how many there are here. But and there's even more I still want to make. But anyway, and this also oh, there's a lot of green here. But anyway, so this one is a Joseph's coat technique, I guess. You know, where you have clear, like you sponge on ink on white cardstock, and then you do clear embossing powder over it, heat embossing powder, and then color in the background with the darker. I think that's amazing. Here's a card that uses Pretty Peacock and Seaside Spray, which are 2 colors I wouldn't have put together on my own, but I think are amazing, and there's like a similar one. Here's another one. Now this is like mega die cut and stamping, but it uses, you know, maybe perhaps unusual colors. Like, again, we're moving away from the green, so it looks amazing in, like, you know, navy and I think that's Gorgeous Grape, even though this is Highland Heather. Anyway, so, and then we've got like vellum die cuts, which is pretty awesome. I don't have enough space, but anyway, here's another one. I copied that from Kylie Bertucci. I probably said her name wrong, but it showcases the DSP more, and you've got like ribbon. I thought about doing this one. It sort of showcases the paper, but then I thought, oh, too many colors, all that sort of stuff. Here's another one I did. Again, different colors. So, of course, we've got green, but navies because I like navy. I'm trying to find... Here's one, again, I copy everything. But this one has an interesting border where you just, with a piece of cardboard, kind of cut an insert. I didn't bring it here, but... And then you just sponge on kind of a border, which I thought was quite, again, this was in the spirit of simple stamping, which, you know, I didn't do a lot of before, but anyway, I think that's pretty nice. And then there's, you know, there's lots of different ones. You can, you know, this one highlights the DSP. Again, they're all in the greens, which, but I for sure wanted to highlight to people, like, or the fact that this is not just about greens. It's also about the other colors. So I think that's most of what I have to show you today. I'll see if I can move this back. Bear with me. All right. Oh, so you're going to see my... All right. So, anyways, that's my Forever Fern demonstration. It probably, half an hour. That's a long time. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And I'll post the tutorials for the 5 cards that I'm doing in February. And I hope you learned something. And that's all I got. So thanks so much. And let me know what you think. Thanks very much.